Don't fight every battle that comes your way. Choose your battles carefully. Pick your battles, because you do not have enough energy to fight every battle that comes your way. And I'm going to tell you that if you choose to fight, if you choose to be a fighter and you take pride in the fact that you're a fighter and you're never wrong and you always got to win, I'm going to tell you something that's going to happen in your life. Get ready for this. It's going to mess up a lot of relationships. It's going to be those people that always have to be right have a bloodbath all around them of people that have been hurt in the wake of them having to be right all the time. The truth of the matter is you're going to have a lot of battles in your life that you have to decide, and I hope you decide today, that's not my battle. That's somebody else's battle. That you might have an issue with that, but I don't have an issue with that. And just because you want to argue with me doesn't mean that I'm going to argue with you. I hope that you decide before you leave here, I'm saving myself for the battles that have the best prize. And I am not going to answer every critic, and I'm not going to rebuttal every complainer, and I'm not going to deal with every person that's having an attitude problem or a bad day. I'm just not going to deal with that. I am going to save myself for the battles that count the most. That's what we're going to talk about today. Not every battle is worth fighting. As a matter of fact, most of the battles that come your way are just distractions. They're going to keep you from the kind of things that could be productive in your life if you engage them. What kind of battles am I talking about? Well, maybe somebody's talking about you. How many of you know that people talk about everybody? And it's just you today. It'll be someone else tomorrow. That's life. You can't stop people from talking about you. That's just not going to happen. If you're trying to build enough walls, I don't care if you lock yourself in a vault, somebody's going to talk about you being in that vault. I was walking through the desert one time in Judea, and they said there's a monk that lives up there in that cave in the middle of the side of a mountain. As a matter of fact, they had to bring their water and their food down to them with a bucket and a rope every day. And they said he's been in there 30 years. And guess what? I started talking about him. I said, how unproductive of a life has that been? He has wasted his whole life. That man thought he was doing a noble, holy thing up there, interceding on behalf of everybody else. And I'm out here because I'm a mover and a shaker. I'm out here saying, you know what he could have been doing for the last 30 years? And some poor old guy has got to pull that bucket up and down every year because that guy wants to live in a cave for 30 years. I mean, here, you can't hide from people. They're always going to be talking about you. Maybe your spouse has said something to upset you. That's going to happen. Faith and I were in Cracker Barrel a couple of days ago, and we saw a couple of ladies there. They were there, and we just happened to be hugging, in the Cracker Barrel. And one of the ladies made a comment that they said, "Oh, you still in love?" And I said, "Yeah, 26 years, still going." And she said, "Well, I had mine for 59 and a half." And the other one said, "I got to keep mine for 64 years." And I looked at them, I said, "Well, what's the secret to being married 64 years?" And both of the ladies agreed. They said, "Well, you got to give a little and take a little. It's just, it's never going to be perfect. You just got to give a little here and they give a little here, and you find your way through it. You make your way through it." The truth of the matter is, every time somebody says something, even if they're having a smart aleck day, doesn't mean you got to say something back. Sometimes the best answer is no answer, and sometimes the wrong answer is no answer. Sometimes you just got to figure all of that out in life. Maybe someone cut you off in traffic and you started to say, "Praise the Lord," and it ended up, that wave turned into something else. Well, even Christians on an unsanctified day have those days in traffic. Hopefully none of you would do that, but I know some of you have never done it, but I'm not going to ask you to raise your hand if you have, because it would embarrass a few people in this room. Maybe an insecure person is just jealous of you, and they're jealous of everyone around them. Maybe someone's complaining about you, or someone in your job has talked about you. The truth of the matter is, there's all kinds of battles going to come your way that you've not been assigned to. There's all kinds of battles that could steal your energy or be distractions in your life. And if you get in that fight mode, if you put on the attitude and you take on every battle that comes your way, I promise you, after a while, you're going to be worn out and people are going to start avoiding you. Because they're going to feel like you overreact to everything, and before you know it, they're going to stay away from you because they know you're going to start a battle when there wasn't a battlefield to start with. So if you get in that fighter mode, maybe the Lord has set you down this morning and is trying to say to you, choose the battles worth fighting. Well, Pastor, how do you know the difference? If somebody said something to me, I'm going to say something back. Talk to the hand. You know, there's some people, they're always in that mode. If somebody's talking about me, I'm not going to stand there and take that. I'm a man. I'm not going to take that from somebody. Well, the truth of the matter is that if you take on every battle, you can stay in a battle for the rest of your life. So which battles are worth fighting? Those that have a prize. The ones that have a true, genuine reward. Because sometimes you might have won the battle, but you're going to sleep in the guest room for a week. So did you really win? Maybe you got the last word in, but that's the last word spoken to you for a week. So was getting the last word in really worth getting the last word in? I mean, sometimes the battles just aren't worth it. They wear us out. They distract us. They give us a bad attitude. They put us in the wrong frame of mind. It causes us to see the whole world around us negative because we're always in a defensive mode all the time.